Why did the Indiana Fever lose to the Las Vegas Aces? This was a very tough loss, but there are actually several reasons for this. We will explore the top 3 reasons, even though there were more. The number 1 reason was defense. Check out, for instance, with 1 minute left in the game, and look who you got in the corner all by herself. None other than Kelsey Plum, all alone. This was a key play. You were down by 2 points, and this was a critical error that changed the course of the endgame. You have just under 60 seconds. Now you go down 5 points with less than a minute. This puts you in a very precarious position. Why? Because you got less than a minute, and you just gave up a wide-open shot to Kelsey Plum. Up next, we see another wide-open shot to Chelsea Gray. This keeps happening, and these wide-open 3-point shots will kill you in the end. And here we have it once again, number 12 wide open. No one even close to her. This is what is killing the Fever. Next, the second main reason the Fever lost this game to the Las Vegas Aces. There is simply no denying it. Horrendous officiating. Check out how Caitlin Clark is driving to the basket, and Chelsea Gray is getting beat here, and she flops. How is this a foul? Definitely not a foul at all, but the officials give it to her. This was frustrating to watch. Chelsea Gray got away selling that, and the officials swallowed that hook, line, and sinker. Now check out this next play, and tell me if you see a foul by Lexi Hull in this play. That's right, there is no foul. This was just insane. Lexi Hull never even touched her. It was Kelsey Plum who put her hand just underneath Lexi Hull's armpit, and then she pushes away from Lexi. Once again, terrible officiating. And the Las Vegas Aces capitalized at the 3-point line on these horrible calls. Now, look at this next play and tell me if you see a foul here. Yes, there is definitely a foul here. Now, this is clear as day, yet the officials never called this foul at all. And so the terrible officiating continues. Incredibly, Caitlin Clark did not score at all in the first half of the game. But in the second half, Caitlin Clark comes alive. And now we see Caitlin Clark unleashed. Just take a look at this beautiful 3-point shot from well beyond the 3-point line. Now take a look at this mid-range shot by Caitlin Clark. This is such a beautiful shot. And she is bringing the team within range to catch up in spite of the terrible officiating, bad calls, and having a horrible first half. Caitlin comes in the second half, and she is going full speed now. Check out this steal from Caitlin Clark as she not only steals the ball, but she is taking it from coast to coast. In the second half, the Fever seemed to wake up, and leading the charge is Caitlin Clark. But also note how Aaliyah Boston gets this pass from Caitlin Clark and practically manhandles A'ja Wilson. Up next, we see Caitlin Clark pushing up the pace and driving hard to the basket. Beautiful layup. You gotta love this. This was truly an incredible comeback. No question about it. Just watch this beautiful step back from Caitlin Clark. Bam! Now check out this awesome play by Damirs Dantas. You don't hear much about Damirs Dantas, but she is proving to be an outstanding 3-point shooter. So, now we get to 1 minute and 54 seconds left in the game. And what happens next? Caitlin Clark goes to work. She takes her defender off the dribble one-on-one, and she goes into the paint. Simply unstoppable. Up to this point, the Fever were mounting an incredible comeback. So what happened in the end? Well, here's where it gets dicey. Simply hard to understand because it makes no sense. The Fever desperately need a 3-point shot. Now, with 19.5 seconds to play, Kelsey Mitchell drives into the paint, but they double-team her and collapse on her. Aaliyah Boston is wide open and is behind the 3-point line. The problem with this play is that Aaliyah Boston is an awesome player, but she is not a 3-point shooter. So you have Caitlin Clark, Kelsey Mitchell, Lexi Hull, and Damirs Dantas, but for the 3-point shot you go with Aaliyah Boston? Does that make sense? That just seems like a bad design when you have better options for a 3-point shooter. So, what was the cause for this loss? The number 1 cause was defense. followed closely by horrendous officiating. And finally, number 3 was bad three-point design at the end of the game. It is actually very unfair to put Aaliyah Boston in that position. Why? Because number 1, you still had plenty of time on the clock. Number 2, you had plenty of offensive weapons with Caitlin Clark and Kelsey Mitchell out on the floor. These are your 2 best players and excellent three-point shooters. Then you also have Lexi Hull, who has proven to be an outstanding three-point shooter, and don't forget about Dahmers Danis, who has been excellent from three-point range. It is important to note that despite all of this, Caitlin Clark still managed to get the single-season assist record in the WNBA. And get this, she is just a rookie.